I'd been working at the museum for 9 months. I had saved up enough money to give Mom a surprise. I sent her a check that would pay for her to visit me. All my life up to that time, she had been doing things for me. Now at last, I could do something for her. She came out by plane. She loved Africa as I had known she would. She loved meeting all my human and animal friends. Every very very quickly she made many friends of her own and was invited all over the place. She got to see a lot of Kenya during the short time she was there. She talked about my future. Lewis never minded if his scientific staff had higher degrees or not. The important thing, as far as he was concerned, was that they had knowledge, knowledge and were hardworking and dedicated. So I could have gone on at the museum, or I could have learned a whole lot more about fossils and become a paleont, paleontologist. But both those careers had to do with dead animals, and I still wanted to work with living animals. My childhood dream was as strong as ever. Somehow I must find a way to watch free wild animals living their own undisturbed lives. I wanted to learn things that no one else knew, uncover secrets through patient observation. I wanted to come as close to talking to animals as I could, to be like Dr. Doolittle. I wanted to move among them without fear like Tarzan. From time to time, ever since we'd come back from Aldive, Lewis had talked about some chimpanzees living on the shores of a far off lake in Tanganyika. They were much stronger than man, he said. It might be dangerous to study them. It would certainly be difficult, but he was anxious to find out about their lives. Perhaps he thought knowing how they lived would help him to understand more about the way our own Stone Age ans- ancestors lived. For chimpanzees and humans are biologically very closely related indeed. Because I had no training, no degree, no experience, I had not imagined that I could be chosen for such a study. But of course I dis I disappear I disappearately wanted to try. One day I told Lewis so. I've been waiting for you to tell me that, he said, his eyes twinkling. Why did you think I talked about those chimpanzees to you? He told me that it didn't matter about my lack of experience or my lack of a degree. He wanted to send someone who had a mind uncluttered by theories, someone who would watch carefully and record accurately. He preferred someone who truly wanted to live the among the apes and learn about their behavior to someone who simply wanted to get an academic degree. Above all, he said he needed someone who had endless patience. Obs- ob- obvi- Obviously, I was that person. This was what I had been so long waiting for. The kind of thing I had come to Africa hoping to do. Lewis warned me that it would be a long and difficult task. He told me that if I succeeded, I would have to go to university and get a degree. And he told me that before I could begin, he would he would have to try to find the money I would need. We decided it would be best if I went back to England to learn all I could about chimpanzees while he tried to raise the money. Mom and I went back together on a boat through a through the Suez Canal, calling on Eden and Barcelona. So when I got back to London a year after setting out, I had been all around the African continent.